let's say somebody's got a house in Michigan and they're like, I want to sell it. We're retired and we're going to Florida. That's probably not as fun as a process as it was, you know, 15, 20 years ago. Now it's they're probably not making any money really right there. I don't know how that looks.
Yeah, you think about it. You think about the real estate in Florida has come up a lot, so maybe the differentiation, isn't what it may have been. We've heard a lot about how insurance costs and things have risen in Florida, so it's not as easy as a transition. And I would also argue that you want to think this all the way through. I have a lot of people that say to me, where do you want to retire? You know what? I'd like to retire to Florida, but I want to wait and see where the kids end up. And some people don't think of that or say that. And they move to Florida and they're like, I moved to Florida and all my kids and grandkids are in Michigan. And I see that. I see that where you're at an age where it makes sense and it's easier and you're not really leaving something. And then as you age, you kind of wish you were a little closer to it. So you want to think all that. And again, it depends. If you have a family dynamic where that's really, a really tight family or really a high priority, and when you might have a family, well, I'll hop on, I can always take an airplane back to Michigan. But you want to think that through. I think it's more than just, again, these questions are always more than just the dollars. It's really about what matters most to you and then putting a value on that decision. And is that a good value? If it costs more, but it's a good value, then that's a good decision. That's what, having these conversations and running these calculations helps you to do.
I'm way too logical. So I see the numbers and I'm looking like, okay, here's what we can do. Here's what we can't do. Talking to someone like you who's seen it, seen it before, seen all these different situations, and they can kind of help you get through the process of more than the dollars. Like, what do you
Yeah.
really want? It's almost like a therapist, right? You're like a financial therapist.
No, you really are. You think, some people, they were taught to be really good savers. They're really frugal, and that's great. That's a great quality. But then they wind up saving every single penny and just socking it away, but they're still going to work until they're 65 and have what we might consider a normal retirement. And they missed out on doing a lot of things that they might have liked to have done along the way, and that's a shame. And then when they retire at 65, they might be like, gosh, I could have retired when I was 60. I kind of like being retired at 65. Darn, I could have been doing this 5 years ago. If you like what you heard and you need help writing your goals down and being accountable for them, go to gootfinancial.com, contact us, and set up a time to start a conversation, and we'll get you on your way.